I never thought the word family could taste so bitter. But that Thanksgiving afternoon, sitting at my mother's long oak dining table, it tasted like dry turkey and humiliation. The table was beautiful. Too beautiful for what was about to happen. Crystal glasses sparkled under the chandelier. A perfectly roasted turkey sat in the center, surrounded by dishes my mother had spent all morning bragging about. Candles flickered softly, pretending this was a warm, loving family gathering. It was. It was a courtroom. And I was the accused. I sat at the far end of the table, hands folded in my lap, shoulders tight. Across from me was my older brother, Ryan, grinning confidently beside his wife, Melissa. To my left was my younger sister, Emily, scrolling her phone like she wasn't listening, but she always was. And at the head of the table sat my mother, Margaret Wilson. Perfect hair, perfect smile, perfect control. She lifted her wine glass and cleared her throat. "Before we eat," she said, "I just want to say how grateful I am." I swallowed. She continued, eyes sweeping the table, then stopping on me. "I'm grateful for my children, who have learned how to stand on their own." Ryan nodded. Melissa squeezed his hand. Emily looked up. I stayed still. "And," my mom added, her smile tightening, "for those who haven't, I think it's time for some honesty." The air shifted. My fork clinked against my plate. She turned fully toward me now. "Claire," she said, using that calm, disappointed tone she perfected years ago, "you're 31. I nodded slowly. "You're still living in my guest house." Another nod. "And while I was happy to help for a little while," she said, emphasizing the words, "it's become clear you're relying on the family instead of building your own life." My chest burned. "I pay rent," I said quietly. She waved a dismissive hand. "Not market rent, and that's not the point." Ryan leaned back in his chair, arms crossed. "Mom's just saying what we're all thinking." Melissa smiled thinly. Emily didn't look at me. Mom continued, "At some point, Claire, independence isn't optional." I felt heat crawl up my neck. "I lost my job during the layoffs," I said. "I've been applying." "And it's been 8 months, she cut in. 8 months of excuses." The word excuses landed like a slap. "I freelance," I said. "I contribute." "Barely," Ryan muttered. Mom didn't correct him. Instead, she set her glass down carefully. "So here it is," she said. "I think it's time you move out." The table went silent. Not a gasp, not surprise. Just silence. "After the holidays," she added, "you need to stop relying on this family." My heart pounded so loudly, I was sure they could hear it. I looked around the table. Ryan avoided my eyes. Melissa looked satisfied. Emily stared at her plate. No one defended me. Not one. "I understand," I said softly. Mom blinked. "You do?" "Yes," I replied. She seemed almost disappointed I wasn't crying. "I'll pack tonight." That got her attention. "You don't have to be dramatic," she said. "You can stay through the weekend." "No," I said, standing. "It's fine." My chair scraped loudly against the floor. "Claire," Emily whispered. I looked at her. She said nothing else. I walked out of the dining room with my back straight and my face calm. But the moment I reached the guest house, my hands started shaking. I closed the door behind me and leaned against it. I didn't cry. Not yet. I opened my suitcase. And I packed. Later that night, as I folded clothes, memories replayed themselves like scenes from a cruel movie. The way my mom bragged about Ryan's promotion. The way she paid for Emily's graduate school without hesitation. The way she called my work unstable and my dreams unrealistic. I checked my phone. No messages. Not from my mother. Not from my siblings. I zipped my suitcase shut. That's when my phone buzzed. Unknown number. "Claire, it's Mrs. Reynolds. I heard you're moving. Before you go, call me. Mrs. Reynolds. My former boss. The one who'd laid me off. I stared at the screen. Then I called her. Claire, she said warmly, I just heard from a colleague that you've been freelancing independently. I didn't realize how strong your portfolio had become. My pulse quickened. There's a position opening, she continued. Senior project consultant, fully remote, 6 figures. I sank onto the bed. And, she added, I recommended you. The silence that followed felt unreal. I thank you, I whispered. She laughed. You earned it. When the call ended, I sat there, suitcase at my feet, heart racing. Independent. They wanted me independent. Fine. The next morning, I carried my suitcase through the main house. My mom stood in the kitchen sipping coffee. So soon? She asked coolly. Yes. She nodded. Good, this will be good for you. I smiled. You're right, I said. She didn't notice the difference. She would. Soon. I walked out the front door without looking back. And behind me, my mother believed she'd won. She had no idea. The moment she kicked me out was the moment everything began to change. I didn't move into another family member's house. I didn't beg friends for favors. And I didn't post sad quotes online. I rented a small, clean apartment across town. Nothing fancy, but it was mine. The first night, I slept on the floor with my suitcase as a pillow. And for the first time in years, I slept peacefully. 3 weeks later, the job offer was real. 6 figures, full benefits, fully remote. On my first day, I sat at my kitchen table, coffee steaming, laptop open, sunlight pouring through the window. No one watching. No one judging. Just me. And my work spoke for itself. Within a month, I was leading projects my old company had once said I wasn't ready for. Within 3 months, my manager said, "You're one of the strongest hires we've made." I smiled politely. Inside, something healed. The family silence. No one from my family checked on me. Not at Christmas. Not at New Year's. Not even on my birthday. Except Emily. Mom says she's giving you space, she texted. I didn't reply. Because I knew the truth. They weren't giving me space. They were waiting for me to fail. 6 months later, it happened on a random Tuesday afternoon. I was on a video call when my phone buzzed. Mom. I stared at the screen. Then I let it ring. A minute later, another buzz. Mom. Claire, call me when you can. I finished my meeting first. Then I called her back. Her voice was softer than I remembered. Hi, sweetheart. Sweetheart. I heard you got a new job, she said. Yes. That's good, she replied, pausing. Ryan mentioned it. Of course he did. Well, she continued, since you're doing better now, I thought maybe we could have dinner. Just us. I smiled. I'm busy, I said calmly. Oh, she said, surprised. When? For the next few weeks. Silence. Then, Claire, you don't need to hold a grudge. I'm not, I replied. I'm just independent. She didn't like that answer. The turning point. 2 months later, my company hosted a large corporate charity gala. Clients, executives, media, and one familiar name on the guest list. Margaret Wilson. My mother. Her nonprofit had partnered with my firm. I hadn't known. When I walked into the ballroom in a fitted black dress, confident, steady, posture straight, I saw her first. She didn't recognize me. Not at first. Then our eyes met. Her smile froze. Claire, she said, stunned. Hi, Mom. She looked me up and down. You look independent, I offered. Her laugh was thin. I didn't know you worked here. I lead 3 of the firm's largest projects, I said gently. Her face drained of color. During the evening, I watched her realize something important. People listened to me, respected me, introduced me as Director Claire Wilson. She followed me around like a stranger trying to catch up. At the end of the night, she pulled me aside. "I never meant to hurt you," she said quietly. "I just wanted to motivate you." I looked at her. "You didn't motivate me," I said. "You removed my safety net." Her eyes filled with tears. "I didn't expect you to disappear." "I didn't," I replied. "I just stopped chasing approval." Final part, the reckoning. Thanksgiving came again. A full year later. This time, my phone rang days before. "Claire," my mom said carefully, "we'd love for you to come home." Home. I paused. "Why?" I asked. She hesitated. "Because you're family." I smiled sadly. "I was family last year too." Silence. "I'll think about it," I said. In the end, I didn't go. Instead, I hosted my own dinner. Friends, laughter, warmth. No fear. No judgment. That night, Emily texted me. "Mom cried after dinner." I stared at the message for a long time. Then I replied. "I cried last year too." Epilogue. My mom and I speak now. Carefully, slowly. She respects my boundaries. Because she has to. The guest house is empty. And I no longer need it. The day she kicked me out, she thought she was teaching me a lesson. She was. Just not the one she intended. Because sometimes, being told to leave is the push that finally teaches you how powerful you are.